fault for mine, and I've broken down walls. Wanted to fall, but instead I stood strong. I've told myself the beauty's inside, ground and inspired, believing in God. I am bodaciously her. Welcome to Bodaciously Her podcast, where we provide a safe space for modern women to address and demystify social and religious constructs, discover God's truth, and thrive no matter what season they find themselves in.
Hi, welcome to Bodaciously Her. Hey girl, hey. We back. You know us already. T, Kim, me, Shauna.
What we talking about?
We on our last leg of attachment styles.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So today we're talking about my favorite, anxious attachment.
Why? You anxious?
Very.
Oh. No, you're not.
Si, señorita.
Okay, well, let's get into it. You said, no, you're not.
So, Kim, you're saying that because you know me in the capacity of Shauna the mom, Shauna the friend, Shauna the sister, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to relationships.
Okay. Maybe that's
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me in relationships too, but I think in what you hear more vocally is the me now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no, probably not.
Okay.
Right? I've learned boundaries. Mm. And in those boundaries is where we talk about the anxious attachment, because that's one of the things that keep anxious attachment style people safe. Is establishing clear.
Wait, say it again for the people in the back, because you went through it real quick.
Okay.
Say it again, clear.
One of the things to help those of us who have anxious attachment styles is understanding and providing ourselves with clear boundaries.
Okay, yes. That's point number one.
Boundaries are meant to keep us safe, not keep people out. Right? We need to keep that in mind. Right? And I say that because I'm the type of person, like, I'll randomly go into a situation like boundaries, but I'm keeping somebody out. Versus me trying to protect my own heart, my own feelings. Right? So what does that look like? Anxious attachment. People who require closeness to feel safe. Right? What that looks like in a person who has an anxious attachment, maybe they grew up in a life or had a childhood that was unpredictable. Maybe they had a childhood that, you know, 1 minute someone was loving on them, the next minute a person wasn't. Inconsistent affection. Right? An anxious attachment style may look like a person who 1 minute had all the support that they needed and the next minute needed to be relied on.
And so if these things are not, if they're back and forth, then they get anxious about how it's gonna be,
right?
Because they don't know.
Another one that I found that kind of resonated with me more was the intrusive caregiver.
Explain.
So if you are required to be your caregiver intrusively, either suddenly, either because someone is like demanding it, either because you are the only one feeling obligated or left to do it,
I've seen that.
Then it can play out in needing that closeness to feel safe, or the unpredictability of this person dying, or the unpredictability of you having your life in one particular way.
You're
and
the
now,
intrusive one.
No, what happens is
somebody says you have to do it.
Give you an example, real life example. Transparency moment, story time.
Okay.
So my dad, right? Had a headache. Never had a headache. Pretty much, dad was fine. Right? Intrusive caregiving can look like 1 minute I'm talking to my father on the phone. True story. And the next minute, that evening, I'm at ICU. Right? And they're telling me that your father has 90 days to 6 months to live. Intrusive caregiving. So for me, now I'm close to my father. We all know this, right? But now I'm anxious about when he's going to pass. Because you told me I only got 3 to 6 months. And so for the 2 years, 2 months that I did have him outside of the 6 months, every time I spent with him was anxiety. Because it might have been my last time. That's an example. Thinking. So look at that very specific situation on the grander scheme of things, right? So you grew up in a childhood, in a life where maybe you were a latchkey kid, right? You were required to do these things. And maybe in my life, for example, my parents one day had one job apiece, and I'm a latchkey kid, so I knew that they would come home at least in the evenings. Then it turned into they both had 2 jobs apiece. And then, all right, after the weekend on Monday, y'all gonna be here by yourself until about 10 o'clock. So, Shauna, you gonna have to make sure the boys get their homework done, take a shower, make sure you do this. I'll come in and pack the lunches and have that ready for y'all in the morning, but make sure everybody bathes, clothes, and dinner is ready, and y'all ate and be in the bed in a blink of an eye.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So now I have this anxious attachment where I'm used to seeing my parents come home at 7, 8 o'clock, and now I don't see you until the next day. Ooh. You follow? So anxious attachment is, again, I'll go back to the original, this most simplistic definition is that closest equals safety. And if I know that you are close.
You're anxious about doing what need to be done in order for the closeness to be there. Is that what?
Or anxious that you're doing too much.
Or too much.
Yeah, you might do too much, but for you, if I don't do enough, then I might lose the closeness.
I might lose the closeness.
And if I lose the closeness, I lose the safety, and I become
unsafe or unraveled. Right. And then that becomes anxious. And so I just continue to spiral. The reason why I resonate with this attachment style because I didn't realize I had this until I was 40.
Wow.
So I live my life like this, right? And what you hear from anxious attachment styles, which I used to say all the time when I was dating in my 30s, when guys would ask, well, how are you? They ask the questions about how do you love, how do you date, how do you do, how are you as a partner? And I say, I love hard. And then you say, why does that look like? And it wasn't until I was called out in understanding attachment style that loving hard means you overcompensate the closeness to make sure they stay close.
Okay.
So you won't feel unsafe. So the rug
is not pulled up under you.
So before that, a sure attachment style? The one I had?
Secure.
Secure? That was it.
You was anxious.
I think I was a bit anxious.
And so now in my 40s, I'm honing in on more secure attachment, right? Because I had to understand what that means. Now, I don't want those who, if any of these traits or any of these qualities or things sound familiar to you, I want you to think that, think of yourself as low. Good qualities of anxious style of people, they are always attuned to your emotions.
Yeah.
Right? They are the people that you always find yourself like you can rely on them.
Yes.
They're very reliable, right? Anxious attachment style people are going to go above and beyond to make sure that they accomplish a goal for the people that they love.
Yes.
Right? Now here's where the boundaries come in. Right is where the boundaries come in. Because you can overextend yourself as an anxious attachment person and overcompensate and say and dress it up very easily. We can get lost in this, y'all. I'm telling y'all, please. You will stretch yourself thin.
Yes.
You will become a skeleton of a person.
Yes.
You will give everything to everybody and keep no residuals for yourself because out of the fear of loss and being alone. And the lack of that closeness. And the lack of that closeness will resonate there. So we overcompensate for it. The boundaries come in because we want to tell people no.
But you don't.
But we don't. So I need y'all to practice with me in the mirror.
Age. I did that when I was about 40.
It's something about that 40, man. That switch be like.
Yeah. I did it differently. But this was the light bulb for me.
Yeah.
The boundaries part. But this was the light bulb for me. Because y'all know I'm always in my mind with the scriptures. The Bible says, love God with your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And my mind said, and your people as yourself. My mind said, Kim, but you are loving people with your heart, your mind, soul, and strength. Something is wrong. You're loving too hard. You loving people with your mind, heart, soul, and strength.
But what's the and
again? You need to back that back.
But and love people.
And love people the way you love yourself. So
let's
how
stop
about
right there.
Grab some of that love, put it back on you.
That part.
And then
that part.
Put the love out there. Because then it's out there, because before you do that, you out of daggone balance.
Yes.
Yeah. Stuff is, the relationship is out of balance, you out of balance, the way you thinking is out
of balance.
Out of you.
And here's the thing, awesome thing I love about that, right?
Ooh. Don't make me shout.
He said, and love people like you love yourself. He put the most important part at the end.
Right.
Right?
Yourself.
And so I feel, Bible's up for interpretation, I feel that God is saying to me when I read that, is how would I love me?
Right.
First.
Yeah.
I would love me with my whole heart.
Right.
My whole mind. Right? My whole self. But how am I loving me with my whole mind, heart, and self if I'm not giving to me first?
Right.
If I haven't poured into me, if I haven't sat in the mirror and said, this is, if I overextend myself.
With your mind, heart, soul, and strength.
Yes.
But then you love others the way
you love yourself. Yes.
So but you can't love yourself if your mind, heart, soul, and strength, because then you're a narcissist.
But you have to. I'll give you that.
Right. Yeah. But when you're balanced, when you know, okay, I would spend this monetarily. Okay, I would spend $50 on a dinner for myself.
For sure.
Right?
I spent $100.
This was anxious. Anxious would say, you think you deserve $50 for dinner. Okay.
But you'll give.
But I am thinking, well, I don't want to spend $50 on dinner for myself.
But I spend it for somebody else.
I spend it on them because that's what they expect.
Yup.
Right?
And it makes me look like I care for them. I love them. And then if I can show that to them, then they're going to stay close. They're going to stay with
so
me.
Natural.
And again, this is where the boundaries come in. They end up taking. Yeah. And I'm not saying that everybody is like
everybody
that.
Not like that.
But I will say, to get back, going back to the scripture, as yourself, I have to get myself right first.
You have to get yourself right.
And that's what I'm trying to say. You have to. I can't love people like I love myself, and I'm loving myself like crap.
Yeah, you gotta put the work on your own self.
So if I'm not waking up in the morning and telling myself, good morning, gorgeous. If I'm not waking up in the morning and I'm saying, today I'm planning and I'm getting this together, but I have planned out everybody else's roadmap for today, whether that's insecure attachment, disorganized, avoidant, whatever. You plan out everybody else's day and all of their things, but you haven't and putting yourself on the end of that. That's a boundary. And we do that again to overcompensate for the closeness.
I think so, because you can get up and plan your things, and the minute somebody calls you,
that goes to the wayside.
Your stuff goes to the wayside, and their stuff takes over. Hey, why don't you? I could have 5 things to do, and get a call. Hey, you think you could do so and so and so and so and so? And then all the things that you was gonna do don't get done because they've asked you to do what they need you to do, and you lose it. You lose your dad. I guess the questions that you have to ask yourself in that moment is why. Because we was trying to be attached.
Why does the attachment matter so much?
Because we were trying to appease. We trying to make them think that make them know how much we care, and we have to do this for them to love us back. And
why does their care and their approval matter so much to you? To yourself?
Because that was my attachment style.
But why did you need that?
Because that's the way that we feel attached.
That made you feel What?
Connected. By you giving of yourself, you felt connected.
I felt like I had to in order to be, had to be, in order to be all the things that they needed me to be.
Right. So if you didn't show up for them, it was conditional. That made the relationship conditional. Actually, it was almost like if you didn't show up, then they weren't. They
wasn't gonna love you.
Yeah, they weren't gonna love you. I mean, that's real. That's real.
That's again, I go back to loving yourself.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that what we're saying to ourselves in those moments is that my value is dependent on this person's connection and like for me.
There you go.
Right?
Well, yeah.
And if we are connected to the Creator.
There you go.
And go to the first part of that scripture. And we are connected and grounded to Him instead of the approval and the attuning to other people's needs in order to put value on ourselves.
Right.
Then we'll lose the attachment style. So I think those who have it, it's not to say that you should cut off your emotion. That's not what I'm saying. Right? We're not saying to cut off your emotion.
Right.
What I'm saying is when you have that emotion, ask yourself, is this a true emotion?
Right.
Or is this an emotion that is being bred out of an anxiousness because of out of fear of somebody else's emotion?
Right. Fear of being alone.
All the things.
Yeah, I think
or them getting mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the times we're in, unfortunately, we're all anxious in a certain way.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially on social media. I feel like everybody anxious on social media because you're looking for that like button. And God forbid you don't get a like for that post. Then you're like, oh my gosh, my followers. What am I going to do? Or
anxious to the likes.
Yeah, anxious to the
approval.
That's a thing, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially with the middle schoolers and the high schoolers.
That's why we limit screen time.
Yeah.
What was that? That's a thing, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, the middle schoolers, high schoolers, they need the likes on TikTok. They need the approval on TikTok.
And it's not just middle schoolers.
Yeah, and just adults too.
I mean, listen, y'all. I have been on the gram and stepped away. I took it off my home screen. Like, I just deleted social media from my screen of my phone. Like, in order for me to pull it up, I would have to type in my apps, Instagram, Facebook, Snap. Like, I have to type the word. And so, and the only reason why I can't get rid of it is because we have Audaciously Her, and I have to actually have a social media page.
It's our fault.
It is. I could do without social media. Like, I really could do without social media.
Wow.
Because it does, social media, if you don't have boundaries, can really encourage comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison about your personality, comparison about their relationship.
Coveting materialistic things.
Yeah,
I should be 35 years old and I should have a house, a car, a this, a that, a career.
I think
it encourages envy too.
I think some
and
things I don't post.
I
don't post some things like couple stuff and like Valentine's Day and I don't post a lot of that kind of thing because I don't want the couples
to start comparing.
Couples that's our friends to start comparing us to them.
Interesting.
And I just don't want to put that burden on anyone, so I don't post it. It's private.
Yeah.
And some things you have to, many things we should begin to maintain and keep privacy for. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of swayed a little bit, but I think that sometimes in modern day times, we can give ourselves our own attachment disorder because we are attached to what other people's approval is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's via social media, whether it's career, you know what I mean? Whether it's even in the church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just think that we have to, that's a whole nother.
People will, and you know what?
Yeah.
We just had this conversation the other day with all of that stuff from last weekend. And one thing that was said was, oh, this is so old. We were talking about the whole money thing. And he said, I said, you don't care. I said, you don't care if I have money and I only have X amount of small dollars in my savings account. He said, nobody told you not to have a job. I have 2 businesses and I'm a substitute teacher. Well, old school says if you don't work for someone, you don't have a job. And so there's a thing that there's an expectation that unless you're doing it.
Right, 9 to 5, like entrepreneur is
there's
not.
a
Entrepreneurship is not.
disappointment. So this attachment style, this anxiety, anxious attachment style. So the anxious attachment style creep its ugly head into that discussion because it was like, wait, I can't get support for my businesses as long as you're thinking I'm not working. So therefore, since you're not working, you're not trying to make, this is an anxious attachment style talking. Since you're not working, you're not trying to have a decent savings account, and you don't have extra money to do this, and you don't this. This is the anxious.
Right. Therefore, we can't give you a grant.
But the secure says,
we can't give you this.
The secure says, no, bruh. You supposed to be trying to help me.
Yeah.
And then I say that thing, and then it's like a whole nother anxious thing because my mouth says some stuff, and then I'm anxious again because now I'm letting you know how I feel, and then I back to my secure self again. I thought about it.
So you and anxious have a tennis match.
I was anxious.
Right. You were
Anxious and secure was having a tennis match.
We have a tennis match going on because I feel the anxiety, but then secure pops in and says, "No, girl, you all right. You right."
I think I'm glad you shared that. I'm really glad you shared that because I think in your transparency, it gives us an inclination on what it looks like healing the anxious person in ourselves.
You back and forth.
So in healing the anxious person is becoming less emotionally driven.
Yes.
And it also teaches you what you exhibited in you talking to yourself are ways to self-soothe.
Yes.
Right? So for me, as a hi, my name is Shauna and I have an attachment style. And it's anxious attachment style.
Right.
I think in my recovery, right, is one thing that I had to understand: stage 1, boundaries; stage 2, self-soothing, right? And stage 3 is in the self-soothing, you also learn how to become less emotional. So the emotion that I used to portray was anger, right? And if I felt overwhelmed or I felt emotionally overwhelmed or anxious, I would push it down because I never learned how to self-soothe. I never learned how to set the boundaries. And so as things continued to pile on and more anxiousness continued to pile up, my way of getting it out was anger. Right? And now we got a whole nother issue going on. Right? I think the lesson is finding some space. If you cannot identify what triggers your anxiety, go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
And find someone that you can trust. Go to talk therapy. And somebody that probably specifies in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, because they'll be able to have you talk out what it is, the behaviors that you exhibit, and put a name on it and categorize these behaviors so that you can cognitively make an adjustment in your day-to-day. To not be an anxious attachment style person, I have to still to this day talk myself into self-soothing.
Yeah.
There are moments where I see, like you described, the anxious attachment style rearing its ugly head, and I have to say, Shauna, that's not what that is. I have to say, Shauna, I need you to breathe. Or I had to also learn, part of my boundary setting was learning, I created a toolkit of phrases to help me detach from the moment so that I can self-soothe and assess what it is I need to give to the moment. Because as an anxious attachment style, I'm automatically going to go into giving you my all. Now I have blown through my boundaries. I have given you way more than I needed to give you. And then if you don't give it back, now I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm mad.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I do think this was for me. And again, we all had our conversational points for our different attachment styles, but this anxious one, it really touches on so many aspects of life. You know what I mean? As a child, how you grew up. If you, again, intrusive caregiving. Again, if you grew up in a house that was unpredictable.
That's kind of, that's,
You know what I mean? If you grew up in a house that was just unpredictable on how love and care was given. You know what I mean?
I thank God for being in my grandparents' house. I lived with the grandmama, and it was, you knew everything that was going on. You knew who was going to be there after school, who was picking you up, who was meeting you at the bus, who was cooking.
Grandma made it.
All the things.
I think for me, like it created a space. When you grow up, you know, my parents did their absolute best that they could with every and anything that they had. But I know for a fact what created that anxiety in me is, and again, another thing I should say in relationships is, guys, you date or you meet somebody, or even when I was married, what is it that you don't like? I don't like the rug for being snatched underneath me.
Yeah.
I used to always say it, not knowing cognitively where that came from. You know, I love hard, and I don't like the rug being snatched from underneath me, right? And because I didn't like the unpredictability. I felt like if you were unpredictable in my life, that you were inconsistent. And if you were inconsistent, you didn't love me.
And I can't trust your
And I can't trust you. Now,
they're close. Avoidant and anxious are kind of close from that perspective of like, if I can't predict if you're going to be waffling, you know, then I can't trust you. Therefore, I have to start removing the closeness. But the difference is,
avoidance remove the closeness.
Right.
Anxious attachment we're going to fawn after you. We're going to attach ourselves.
Right.
And it's going to get to a point where we are so attached that we're going to be like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
What did I do? Yeah. Can't you see how hard I'm loving you? I'm loving you with my whole heart and mind, and I'm loving you with my whole heart, mind, and soul.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you everything that I can, and why aren't you doing what I need you to do? She's on the best.
Can you stay with us? Yeah, we over here.
That's all I could think about. That song. Give me the best I got. When you said that, but that's real.
But yeah, I think it's really hard. Like, growing up and you come home and you talking to your friends or you want to train this and that, you think you coming home to do homework, you come home to no lights. Unpredictability.
Yeah,
you are 1 minute you in one space financial bracket and the next minute you not. You know, one day you come home.
I remember that period. Because I know her mom. She's one of my friends.
You know, sometimes you go through a place where 1 minute your stable living condition is your stable living condition, and a few times in my life it wasn't. You know what I mean? Quite a few times. So it's like you're always the anxious attachment person. What we feel in our heart is that we are never on stable ground.
So would it have been better had explanations been given?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because
to calm
and anxiety is to be transparent.
Okay, I got
Which is when we were talking about off camera, is that the women in my life and the personalities that I gravitated towards are personalities that were just, I don't care how bad it is, you just gonna be able to tell how it is. We started this conversation because we were talking about the difference between somebody being able to take constructive criticism. Bestie over here, I can say, "Nah, you wrong." She'd be like, "Yeah, I was." Okay, and we can have a conversation. But and same thing with you, Kim. Like, you could be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going through this in my marriage. My marriage ain't that. I'm happy. Are you happy married? Not today, but I'm happy family."
Right. Family.
And when you ask her to explain it, she tells you how a TIE is not a long synopsis thesis. It's just like, well, today I don't like the Bama. And tomorrow, maybe I will. I don't know. Ask me tomorrow. You know,
30 years of marriage. Today you may not like it tomorrow.
40
Wow,
years.
oh wow, 40
coming
years.
up. Look, don't take
40
that one.
Don't take that.
Don't take that. You 10
Doesn't
years.
matter.
No, let me not take 10 years. 40 years of marriage.
I earned them years.
Today
girl.
you may not like them. Tomorrow you might. Covenant means today I may like them, tomorrow I might not. That's real covenant though.
And it's transparency. So yes, to answer your question, if we can rewind the clock, if we can go back in time and say, Shauna, through the evictions or the life or the financial bracket changes from up to down and whatever, would it make a difference if you would have known? Yes. If somebody would have said, hey y'all, mommy and daddy are going through a hard time right now, and we may experience this coming up, then I can do that. But for me,
and everything's going to be
okay. We're going to have to make some adjustments. Prepare for that. But this is what, yes, it would have been different.
Okay, I got you.
Because what I learned to acquiesce to was always have a go back. So I grew up for 40 years just being always ready to go.
Oh my.
Always being ready to go.
That's anxiety.
Hence
Yeah.
the anxious attachments.
Yes. I mean, I
to the point when I moved into my house that I have right now, I moved in until this very moment, and it just dawned on me because I don't go underneath my underpants. I have a crate that has 3 go bags in it.
Girl.
Right now. For me and each one of my kids. Because you what do I say? Stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
Yeah, but no.
That was developed out of anxious attachment.
Okay.
Interesting. But do you trust yourself? I guess when I
don't trust other people.
Oh, okay.
I don't trust nobody.
Okay, I get it, but you trust yourself, so that's why I'm trying to figure out why you got to go bag ready in your house.
Because somebody could come past and burn down my house, and I need to get out quick, and I know that I can go grab that. Great, and we gone, we good. Copies of birth certificate, passports, emergency, clean underwear, socks, a change of clothes, non-perishable items, a flashlight, batteries, first aid kit, an emergency call with emergency contact information.
One could argue that's
put it together. Put mine together.
That's FEMA right there. FEMA Harvard.
Wait a minute.
One could argue that's preparedness, but then one could argue that's over.
But where does it come from?
Anxiety.
Yes, it's preparedness. Everything is duality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus is the lion and the lamb.
Yeah.
You know? So, yes, I have an anxious attachment style, learning now to develop myself into more secure attachment. What I learned about anxiousness is, being ready. Not a bad thing. But is my preparedness breeding out of, oh my God, the world is going to fall apart all the time? Which makes me walk on eggshells all the time.
Got it. No, that's facts.
Yeah, I like it.
No,
good. Because stuff happens. I mean, life
be life.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how prepared you are. I don't care what, blah, blah, blah. But as parents, that's the reason why I asked the question. Because I think, because we have someone who's more like, and then we have, but I kind of overshadowed the anxiety and the, the controlling and so for the children of mine, I'm the one that say, hey, this is what's going on.
You balance it out. That's
the transparency.
This is what's happening. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. We're going to get through it.
We're going to get through it.
That's good.
It's going to be all right. Y'all going to be okay.
Yeah.
But did you feel like you had one or both of them at the time? So they needed to protect you, therefore they didn't communicate at all?
Me?
Yeah. Back then. Like, did you feel like one parent was more transparent than the other in saying the situations?
I think that knowing my father as I knew him as a parent, me being a parent, me as a parent knowing my father as a parent, I think he was probably more of the person that was telling.
Yeah.
My mother, don't get me wrong, not to take anything away from her, she was only doing the protective part because that's who she is. You know what I mean? My mother is a protector at heart, and she don't want nothing to come. If she can shield you from everything bad, she will. If she can stand in front of the fire to protect you, she will. If she can stand in front of the Big Mac truck to keep you from getting hit, she will. Caveat, again, duality is that sometimes if we don't let our kids feel the pain, then they either grow up not knowing that pain exists.
Well,
and then when pain exists, they lose their shit.
Yeah.
Or you go through life and you cannot protect them from every storm, and it's going to have to bum rush through you and eventually hit them. And because you were such a blinder for them, when it hits them, they're whoa,
They don't know what to
whoa,
Yeah.
what the hell is this? Which was my experience. The life experiences came too harsh, too heavy at times, and she could no longer stand in the midst of that. We had to feel the pain. And by the time it done funneled through Dad and her and us, now it's like, come on, we gotta go. And so now I'm like, we moving? Today? Shit! Kirby! Get your bag! You know what I mean?
You winding cords around.
You know?
It's a lot for a child to not have, to not know where you're going to be sleeping tonight. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh my goodness.
Moving where?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just get in the car?
Yeah.
No.
Or the fact may not have even been moving. We just come home, we thinking that maybe the electricity or gas, and it's like, hey, maybe we can't do our homework.
I listen to you guys, and
we ain't got no lights.
It helps me to
go
understand.
next door to the neighbor's house.
Let me tell you this. This is my husband now, and I'm sorry I always be talking about him, but he's the closest. He said, so we were talking about managing money. We talked about that, and I said, well, how come you don't trust me to manage? She said, let me tell you. He said, when I was growing up, the phone would ring, and my mother would say, I answer, and she'd say, tell mom I'm not home. Tell mom I'm not home. He hated when bill collectors would come to their house. In Tennessee, they do that. Come to your house or call on the phone looking to get paid some money.
And the child had to lie.
And the child had to lie. He hated it.
And
he
what
hates
did that
it so
create?
much. Anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I'm a manager.
But you know what it also created?
Trust issues.
Perfectionism.
Right.
He
I would never be caught off guard.
I will never.
Yeah.
I will never.
All it
That
takes
will
is
never
one trauma,
happen.
look.
That will never happen.
That would
to
never
me.
happen to me.
That would
I would
never
never
happen to me.
allow anybody to put me in that situation.
Again.
And I don't understand why you, based upon what you just shared,
about the job,
is not in a better situation because I did it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And on that note,
and that's why we
Jesus.
We about to be done.
No, I'm about to call my therapist. I need another session before my next week's session. Listen, they be trying to take my therapist, y'all. They really do. Listen, I'm trying to hunt it high and low for this one because I am very particular about therapy
and how it's done.
I'm extremely particular about therapy because I believe in it.
You're paying for it.
I've been in therapy since I was 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I mean, when I 14, 15, over 10 years, I guess. Ever since mom got sick, that was my
therapy.
My grandson is going. He's only 10. He asked to go.
Yeah.
And he goes every other Tuesday, I think.
2003.
And I met her. She's cool. Cool black girl.
Yeah, my youngest, he went to therapy.
But 10 years older, when Ann first said, I was like, what? Where he going?
Jaden started going at 4.
Yeah.
Really?
I had Nathan going too. It ebbs and flows. It's hard to continue. I mean, now that you have virtual therapy, it's hard to continue it though when you juggling between both homes because you got to keep them on a schedule. And if both of y'all not keeping the schedule, then it's like whatever. So at this point, I'll probably just do it when you're over with me. But I do think there is something about giving children an outlet to do therapy because how they're processing things, they may not feel comfortable communicating it, or they may not even have the narrative of the words for what they're feeling. And I believe therapy for them gives them that.
Which is why I stress talk therapy.
Yep.
That is why I stress CBT, talk therapy. Because those people in those arenas, whether they're 10 years old or teenagers, right, they are trained to hear the words and assess what the words mean. There are things, I had therapy the other day, and I had said something that to me in my mind was so minute. Like I was like, yeah, and then she said such and such, and then 30 minutes later, my therapist comes back. She's like, okay, well, that's happening because, and she went back. I'm like, how? And she know. I said, how you get that?
How you connect them dots?
How you get over there?
What are you talking about? And her name is Kim too. And she was like, because, and she'll make the connection for me. You know what I mean? Based upon the behavior of this person, based upon my reaction, and based upon the arena in which things are occurring. And I think a lot of times, if I had someone at 12, 13 years old to explain to me that, hey, your parents don't mean no harm. They are only doing the best that they can with the way that they know how to. Because you got to realize my mother was born and raised in the deep, deep South. Where it was do what I say, not as I do. It was mind your manners. It was respect your elders no matter what they tell you. You couldn't talk back. You couldn't have an opinion. You was okay. We not talking about the hardships in our lives. When you take that back to this side of the world, up here, up north, she came with that mentality, those same things. And so she's bred out of what turned into don't talk about what's happening in our household. She may not have agreed with that, but what she probably took with that is, I don't want them to learn that behavior. So what I'm going to do is keep out of their eyesight anything to talk about. So I have to be the protector so they won't have nothing to talk about. I have nothing to hide from them. I'm going to hold all the secrets. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news.
Don't do it.
And what that created was, little Shauna, la la la, life is great. Oh, no it ain't.
Right.
And then the next moment, da da da, life is great. No it ain't.
Right, because the kids could see we could see the lights is off. We move into, I mean, they could see.
It happens.
I like that children now are learning that adults are not all perfect and all together.
My God.
I don't think children should think that adults are perfect. I don't think that that's a healthy thing.
Agreed.
I think that they should think that adults make mistakes. And I've always thought that when a parent does something that needs to be an apology given, that they say, you know what? I am so sorry. Mommy didn't mean this, so and so and so. From the beginning, like 1 year old.
Yeah.
I do with 4 years olds at school.
That's a whole different. That needs to be a part. We're going to table this conversation, y'all, because I think that we do need to address the generational things that we should have apologized as parents, and I do think that we should address the apologizing to children.
Okay, so
right?
on that note,
because we've had that conversation.
Yeah, we did an episode on apologizing to me. We could do apologizing to the children.
Sure. Apologizing to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And apologies to me. Apologize to yourself. Don't be so overwhelmed with
I'm sorry.
feeling like, I shouldn't be this way, or or beating yourself up, whether you're anxious, whether you're avoidant, whether you're disorganized, conflict, whatever any of these attachment styles, even insecure, sexual attachment,
You know why? Because you can change.
You can.
Yeah. You can evolve.
You can decide
to change.
I'm going to be different.
Yeah, you can break the generational curse.
You sure can. You cannot go back and change yesterday. But you can choose today to change tomorrow.
Yeah.
And on that note, bye girl, bye.